Hello YouTube world, my name is Nicholas Montez and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic, and welcome back to the YouTube channel, everybody. And today we're doing a movie tier list, a movie ranking of all 47 Dreamworks animated films. Let's go and get started. A pretty stunning animated film with a good soundtrack, but I don't care about any of the characters or the story, so it comes in last place. One of the worst sequels that I've ever seen in my life. It does not even do anything entertaining to get the first one up. It's just bad. This one's cool, but I'd rather see the penguins in the Madagascar movies rather than have them be the main characters. The cameo name scene was actually pretty cool. Antz was kind of an interesting movie with the world that they created, but feels like a weird movie that shouldn't be, not for kids. Home is a good movie. I think I enjoy it with the Rihanna and Jennifer Lopez story, and O is a fun character, but at the same time, it is also kind of annoying, so I can kind of see where people are coming from with it. Monsters vs. Aliens is kind of awkward, but at the same time, it kind of has me a good cast of characters. A fun film that continues the role of Shrek, but kind of struggles with its story. B-movie, it's fun. There's a fun idea of it, but like Shrek 3, it also has a weird kind of plot, so I kind of enjoy it a little bit too. And Ruby Gilman is one of those movies where I just feel like it was good, but it was kind of confusing as to what exactly I was watching. So, I don't know. A pretty cool film about the different ancestral people of different holidays, but at the same time, it's also kind of forgettable. So, yeah. While the weakest in the franchise, it's still kind of fun, but not necessarily a film I probably will ever go back to, unless it's the ending with Hit Me Baby One More Time by Jack Black. Now, Spirit Untamed, I thought was a okay sequel to the original Spirit. The animation is actually quite good, and I did kind of care about some of the characters. It was actually a pretty fun movie. Shark Tale is a little bit of that, it has a little bit of that B-movie type vibe, but I enjoyed it. I like the cast, and in some ways, it is kind of confusing whether it is for adults or for kids, but I still enjoyed it. So Turbo, it's a fine film, a good cast, but not really interested about a story about a snail. A very fun film with exciting action and adventure vibes. I really enjoyed it. A pretty solid film with likable characters, and the story is fine. A pretty good film with some good animation and a good story, but kind of forgettable because I haven't really watched this film in a while. Flushed Away, pretty good. I thought it had some good, clever humor, but the world is also kind of weird. A very fun film that takes the Madagascar franchise into Europe and the circus. I thought it was a very colorful and fun film. This was a definitely fun film because we're going to Africa and we get to meet Alex's dad, and I like the backstory of him, so that was really cool. Bad Guys, it's good. There's some good animation to it, but honestly, I could not care too much about it, but I did still like it. This was basically my childhood, but I really enjoyed the original Puss in Boots, and it's a very fun film. Abominable, it's a very beautiful, gorgeous movie with likable character and just a great usage of sound. A very fun film with a fun cast and a fun premise too. A gorgeously animated film with fun action and a pretty good continuation to the franchise. Kind of fails to come up with something fresh and new, where I kind of feel like the first two films were just so good. The Croods is good. I thought the world was fun and the characters were fun. It was good enough. The Croods 2, I thought was another fun movie and actually continues the world and the characters more, and I just thought it was a lot more funnier. It's just a better movie. Captain Underpants was actually a pretty fun film. I like the animation style and I really do like the characters. Megamind, I thought was a very fun film. It has a lot of great humor, a lot of great action, and actually a pretty compelling story about superheroes and villains. Spirited Stallion of the Cimarron, a gorgeous film about a horse being wild. Just such a really good premise, so I really enjoyed it. Shrek Forever After, I personally love this film. I like the what if concept, and I like that it takes a spin on all of the whole story, and it gets me excited for what Shrek 5 is going to be. Prince of Egypt is a gorgeously great animated film with great characters, great music, and just overall a pretty great story. Boss Baby 2, a pretty great sequel to the original film that stands to be more funny, that stands to be funny, and still lands all of the great stuff, but at the same time does not match what the original film did. So, I liked this one, but it's not my favorite. Puss in Boots 2 takes what my childhood was and actually makes a film that is celebrated and respected with great animation, a pretty great story, and some great lovable characters. Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, I thought was a fun film with likable characters. At first I'm like, what the hell is this? But then it actually turns into like this were-rabbit story, and I just honestly love that. So I do love Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. A gorgeous film, and as well as some fun characters and a great story. Continues what was great about the first movie, but manages to make it a little bit more darker and more thematic. the great closeout to this whole trilogy, as well as having some of the best emotions in the whole franchise, as well as the best, funniest stuff in the whole franchise. It is great. Easily, this is one of my favorite DreamWorks films. This is basically the Trolls 2 that I actually wanted, where it continues the characters of Trolls 1, but at the same time manages to tell such a great story with Poppy and Branch, and continues the world of these characters in such great ways, while at the same time kind of doing some unique stuff with its animation and having a soundtrack that you actually remember, and the songs are also catchy, and it's also quite funny and likable, so it does everything I want for a Trolls film. Now, even though this is a film that came out just a month ago, I actually fell in love with this instantly. I love the idea, much like Rise of Guardians, where it takes, dark, sunlight, any type of light, any type of scared thing that a kid is afraid of. They take that and put that there. The animation is actually quite gorgeous. The cast is pretty good. And overall, it's just a brilliant movie that tells a story about that and what it means to not be scared of the dark anymore. And the way it actually transcends. Now, part of the story where they kind of transcend into, like, the older times is kind of weird, but I still did really enjoy it. The original Shrek has always been one of my favorite DreamWorks films. I love that they actually take a spin on the fairy tale stories, but actually make its own fairy tale story at the same time. And the music is great, the characters are memorable and likable, and it just is a great film. Another great sequel from DreamWorks, where it continues the world of the characters, has some more awesome moments, and introduces a bunch of bold new characters, and it's just so fun. A film that manages to do such unique stuff with its premise, where the two leads are very likable, but as we're going into different timelines and different time periods, the action is quite exciting, the animation is quite great, the score from Danny Elfman is quite good, and the story here is just remarkable. So I really loved Mr. Peabody Sherman. And the first Trolls I thought was absolutely fantastic, where they managed to set up a great set of rules, where in some ways they can kind of tell you a story about what it means to be happy. And I thought that this film actually did it really nicely, and the soundtrack is great, the characters are likable, and the animation is actually quite great, so I love the original Trolls. Boss Baby, I thought was a fantastic film about this baby that is a boss. The characters are likable, the movie is hilarious, the animation is somewhat unique in certain ways it's doing, and it's just a great movie overall. An amazing sequel that continues everything that I loved about the first film, with the action, the character arcs, the comedy, but manages to make it such a thematic film and explores more of Poe's backstory and his history. And the reason why I prefer the first one over the second one, which is kind of obvious, is because I prefer the story of Kung Fu Panda 1 rather than Kung Fu Panda 2. Still, fantastic movie. Easily my favorite DreamWorks film, where they managed to take a story about a panda doing kung fu and still have that same comedy bits that you expect from it, but go so rich and deep into these characters, where they just found a way to find all these people to cast these characters. The action is stellar, the animation is quite great, and the music from Hans Zimmer is just gorgeous. And the story of believing and accepting who you are, I just think it's such a great story. So for me, easily Kung Fu Panda 1 comes in at number 1 as my favorite DreamWorks animated film. And that's my ranking of all 47 DreamWorks films. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.